Greetings, beautiful family of the light, coming to you really out of the light. A beautiful, vibrant sunshine. Last rays of the day. Beautiful gathering of the seagulls right here. And I'm coming to you here from this powerful portal in the waters, the sacred, sacred waters. And sitting here in this beautiful tree cave, taking the sun in. Silence and presence. You know that water holds memory. The earth holds memory. The earth also is water. And water also transports information. There are so many codes in the ocean and in us, and in the earth. Let's have a drink together. Drinking the return to origin water. Letting the sun, look how beautiful that looks, like my electrolyzed, structured water. I love how it looks like in the sun. So you might know that I'm in Australia. Sit so you can see the sun and the water and my face. And Australia holds very important keys for the new earth. I was shown, I know now, in hindsight, that I was guided here by my soul. When I was in my mid-20s, I had to come here. I had to come all the way from Germany. And even as a child, I knew I wouldn't stay in Germany. And I know now that I'm also a grid worker and that I'm here to help the earth and humanity shift into a higher frequency. Because as we shift, we are manifesting the new earth that already exists in the ether. As we are shifting our vibration, we are bringing this into reality down here, so to say. Yeah. And, beautiful light, isn't it? This golden healing light. Let me move down a little bit for a better view. Yeah. So, yeah, I was guided to come here. And I knew always that I would not stay in Germany. And when I arrived in Australia, under the sky, in West Australia, that was my first stop, where I first lived. I knew I had to stay here. That's my home, where I would be finding my home and connecting with my soul and coming into my body with my soul. And Australia, we have in the center of Australia a big red rock, and that is the heart center of the world. And we have many incredible portals, activation portals, and song lines, yeah, and powerful lines. So a lot of the ascension pioneers, they are here in Australia, or they had to travel here to wake the codes up in themselves. Yeah, and there is so much nature here. Yeah, some people say, oh, I miss the culture in Europe, I miss the museums, I miss the sophistication and so on. For me, I find that in nature. You know, what I feel in the depths of nature, the symphony that goes on, the mystery, how everything communicates with each other, how everything stays alive, or or just recycles. Yeah, it's very, very incredible. And when you see the water here behind me, the water, we are water, you know, in the womb we are almost 100% water. We begin with water, and thus the memories even of conception are in our water body. And then it declines because most humans are dehydrated. So by the time they die, I think it's around 50% or so. But the quality of life depends on how our water is in our body. Yeah. So if we are dehydrated, the less water you have in your body, the closer you are to death. This is also our spine. We are also as old as our spine is. We need to have our spine in a really good condition. And our whole antenna, our chakras, and all the antennas in our cells. We need to be in a high frequency to manifest the new earth here. So that's why I was guided to drink, to change my water, to change my life. So I was also told by Source, by my higher self, that this water is necessary for the ascension process. For us New Earth pioneers who are here to shift our vibration, so we shift the vibration on this planet so that the New Earth can be manifested here, in the physical. So for that we need to change our waters. This is what I've been observing. Everybody who drinks this water has a different frequency. We are changing our frequency with that. And healing and everything happens now with frequency. So when we shift our frequency, also the guinea pig, the healing with the guinea pigs, the frequency shifting I've been facilitating with people with the guinea pigs, that's not a joke or comical. This is deep vibrational shifting. And they are masters. They are souls that have been working also in different portals and in the portals of Peru as well. And in other lifetimes, they and I were there, and now we are here. Yeah. And it's now all about frequency and vibration. So when we are healing our wounds and deprogramming our conditioning, because what is there to deprogram? We have to deprogram the conditioning of our parents, of society, of schooling and so on, so that we become who we truly are. And we are each so different. We each are here for a different, with a different constellation, born at a different time, under a different sun and a different moon. And that gives us a certain energy that we are working with. And then it's fascinating really to look at the human design and the gene keys. They give us such clues on what we are about. Then we don't have to try. That helps us not to do it like everybody else. For me, for example, I have to fully live and basically forget even that I'm living. I have to live so fully, and then everything flows for me. So if I try and follow steps and hustle and try to be organized, I am actually shutting myself off. So what works for one doesn't work for everybody. And that's what I love also guiding people in. I've looked up and felt into and get such different information, such information for everybody, that I can see how someone works so differently and then why they are here. So through my vessel, through me, through my soul, through my body, you can get in touch with your higher self and come in. That's what I am here for, to connect everybody to their higher self, and then embody. That opens up the gate for the embodiment of the soul and the spirit. And that, when our soul comes online and not our silly conditioning, then we are free. Then we are who we are meant to be. And then our vibration is love. That's what we are. And then we are shifting this planet. And that is a new Earth frequency that already exists in the ethers, and we are bringing it down here. And so we need to also be at these different portals and be aware of them. We can go there in our consciousness. We can tune into Uluru. We can tune into Arnhem Land. We can tune into Machu Picchu, whatever, all these different portals. Yeah, and we are having, so my cosmic sign is red electric serpent. You can look that up from the 13 months moon calendar, what you are. But the serpent of the light that weaves through the song lines, yes, that is mythology, and we have the serpents here. I have a serpent live on my land, and she works with me, and I with her. Yeah, so nature. And I'm always coming to you out of these portals, from these ley lines, from these song lines, and what I'm sharing goes right into the grid. And where you are, our lands are connecting. Hello, Trevor. Thank you for coming on. Nice to see you. Greetings, dear brother. The water. So we are flowing a bit, portals, song lines, ley lines, connecting, activating. We do land journeys to activate the grid, to activate us, to wake codes up, to remember. Yeah, and this water is powerful. This is New Earth ascension water. That's what I am sharing it with, and this consciousness. That's what I've been guided to, and that's what I'm fully sharing it with. And it helps us get clear, it helps us shift, it helps us bring our soul into our body. And hello, Andrew, nice to see you too. Beautiful to have you both on here. Thank you for bringing your energy, feeling our lands connecting. And also feel in, welcoming you with drink too, and to your waters, and feel into as well which portals come up right now, which countries, where you have traveled to, where you have been, or where you are living, that really where you felt your soul, where you felt activating, and where you began to really turn on. Like for me, that happened really in Australia. It happened also in America, and in Canada. There's many different areas. The Inside Passage, the Grand Canyon, the Bryce Canyon, and so many different places. But here, when I arrived here in Australia, in West Australia, I knew this is where I would be living. This would be my home. I didn't yet know how, and this is the same with now. I don't know, I'm just in the now. How the new earth manifests, I do know, but I don't. But I'm just, every day, every moment, we are bringing the new earth into reality by us being in the unity consciousness. And this is also the shifting out of duality into the unity, the planet of love, of unity and oneness. And not protesting against anything, because then we fuel that, but really celebrating and focusing on what we are creating and onto the oneness and the love. That helps the whole planet. We are not helping the planet by keeping posting about certain wars or whatever. We are helping the planet by flooding it with our light and our love. And by being in that frequency, by shifting our frequency which helps shift the whole planet around. And everything is about frequency shifting and healing with frequency. So this water has been changing my frequency. It spins in a higher way. It's electrolyzed, like lightning having striked it. And then it activates my cells. And people I know who are drinking it, often we recognize each other without even telling each other. And then we find out we are drinking the same water. There's a different awakeness because our codes wake up from it, especially when we consciously work with it. Very powerful. And what I shared earlier is when we are born, we are 99% water. And we are born out of water. And when we die also, the water leaves our body. And the older people get, the more they are dehydrated. They often even stop drinking. You can ask many old people, and that starts when they are 30 or 40 even, when they say, oh, I don't drink anything. I hardly drink anything. And then slowly, slowly, the connective tissue, which is the fascia, which is water, needs to be filled with water. And if the connective tissue hasn't got enough water, it cannot transport and connect our body. Then we get numb and stagnant. So to connect and have no inflammation, we need to be fluid. So we need to have the right hydrating water and drink enough to be saturated. Yeah, so these things that are helping us. And when we are shifting our frequency and become clearer and clearer and clearer, and we are in oneness and wholeness, we are then pure frequency. And then we are the healing frequency walking around, and our presence heals. Heals, and healing meaning shifts people's frequency when they come in contact with us, and helps the grit when we are sitting on it, when we are swimming in the waters. We are then changing it all. That's what we feel, right? When dogs run around that are full of love, we feel better. They shift our frequency. And if we see toxic, grumpy people that are pale and sick, how do we feel when we have been with them? In which way are they shifting the planet? So this is our responsibility and what we are accountable to. And remembering why we've come here. Then waking up to our soul's mission. Yeah, and I see now how I had to come here from Germany, yeah, leaving my country, and what that took. So I've been trained in already making a new earth, making a new life, because I shifted. And many people are here that have left their countries. And we know what it takes to create the new earth, because we've created a new life away from our families in another country, often not knowing anybody. The courage that takes and the trust, yeah, So a lot of people who have moved here, a lot of souls who have come here from other countries, they are the way showers. And we are each way showers for somebody else. Yeah. And we speak here so we can find each other. And there's all these powerful things coming out as well, like this water, that's already also 51 years old, these machines. Or the M-Guard, which isn't so old, but that protects our vibration, because the radiation is trying to dim our vibration. So when we have the M-Guard around at home, and if we travel with the M-Guard, we protect our frequency, because this is the most important tool we have, our body. And our frequency is, no one could pay. No one can pay for our frequency. That's why we are also not living in a transactional way anymore in the new earth. Because we are each there, fully on, seeing each other and knowing how amazing we are. Our energy, our precious frequency isn't just worth $12 an hour or something like that. It's infinitely precious. And when we realize that, then deep self-love sets in, and we are holding ourselves completely differently. Yeah. So, what is one of my gifts as well is that I feel, I've shared that in the last days, that I feel what many don't feel, and I've been training here with Earth, sleeping outside, being with my skin, yeah, in the water, barefoot on the earth, lying on the earth, and so on. And being in stillness in it, my antennas opening. Because there's a different communication that happens here in nature, where animals attract each other with their chemicals, their callings, their sounds, their aromas. The senses of the animals are so wow. And when we are with them and the earth, our senses sharpen and waken up and upgrade. So I'm feeling now frequencies and hearing with all my subtle senses have been upgrading and sharpening, and also with this water. Everything has changed. I can smell more, I can taste more. I'm so clear. If our water is dirty, we are not functioning well. It makes sense, right? So it actually is all about the water. And then so much more. But like a fish in a fish tank, or if the water in this ocean here turns toxic, nothing could survive. Like we've been seeing in South Australia, where all these beautiful sea animals end up dead on the shore because there's a total imbalance in the water. So us being in balance, starting with our water and our inner communication, our stillness, our presence, our connectivity, that so matters. And it's exciting. We are here and we are all connecting, and we are in the biggest shift ever. And we are noticing that also by all the things that are available now, all the different frequency healing tools that become available, also for people who can't be a lot on earth, or who live in big cities, or have to be in an office all day long. Yeah, they need tools or they die. Because everybody needs to up-level their frequency now, or they're gonna just vanish. Because the whole frequency is shifting on this planet. So we need to run on a higher frequency. So we need to upgrade our system. We need to raise our frequency, which happens through deprogramming, healing our wounds, healing our bodies, raising our frequency. Yeah. Oh, listen There's also dragons here. I don't see them right now, but they are in here. There's a bush turkey that builds a big nest here, and lots of birds always coming into here. And yeah, the sun that was flooding in here as I arrived, you can watch it in the replay. Now we have the beautiful evening light and humans playing and birds together, and you know, that is unity. And when our consciousness is in unity, that's what we are experiencing. Then we are experiencing the whole world in unity. Yeah, unity is community. And yeah, that's peace and harmony. And one more thing I like to share is, I was reading a few pages today in Dr. Emoto's book about water. And I've read it many times before. And today I could feel my embodiment is different. The embodiment of water that I have shifted with drinking this return to origin water, returning to health. Our origin is health. But what he was writing, what he was sharing about water, because I'm feeling it in my body, I really got it. And the times before, it sounded good, and I got it too, but I didn't get it so deeply. So our embodiment matters. And with this water, we can't just drink one glass, we have to feel it for a while. And that's where some people don't trust. No, this is full trust. The intuition has to guide and say, oh yeah, I'm going to give this a go. Because you can't just test it. Yes, you feel it, and if your body is highly attuned, you will taste it and feel it. And your soul can guide you. But for many, that needs to be, they need to really trust. Yeah. And sometimes it takes years. But anyway, I'm just so grateful. So grateful for the water, for these machines making these waters, and for all these beautiful beings here on earth that are discovering about water, that have been sharing about water. Yeah, it's magical. We are in magical times, and we have waited lifetimes for this. We have waited years for this, and we are shifting. So thank you both for being here live, and thank you all of you who watch the replay, and feel free to share this with others. It's like water, and comment and like, then it helps the algorithm. I also love to hear from you, and that's also how you meet, when you comment and people read each other's comments. That's how we are all coming together. Yeah, the beautiful kookaburras coming in. Often in these transmissions I drink at least half a liter, and I get the water to transport the information as I speak and drink. Memories unlock out of my body, more and more codes opening up, and it activates your water body, because you are also mainly water. Yeah. So, oh, we had an earthquake today as well. We had an earthquake, and I was sitting with my guinea pigs on my body, and suddenly the previous owner of the guinea pigs wrote to me, wow, we just had an earthquake. She's an hour away from me, hour and a half. And my neighbors felt it too, but I didn't, and I was still and present, but there was no shaking in my house or on my land. Very interesting. But certainly this morning, how open my heart was. We are feeling every portal on the world cracking open, and there's lots right now, more than ever, and volcanoes and yeah, everything. So see what happens tonight and now and in the next now. And I'm sending you lots of love and blessings and deep gratitude. Yeah. Remembering who we are and turning fully on. And I'm going to go into the waters now, change my coats, take up the new coats, and let the old ones go. And I see you when I see you next. Have a really beautiful night. Beautiful brothers, beautiful sisters, sacred family we are, yeah, on this sacred planet.